I owe this amount of money, contact me immediately. If you do not pay, we're going to be taking you to jail, we're going to report this to your job, and you're most likely to get fired, and we're going to file it with the IRS system.
She getting killed.
Right? And if they could do all that, yeah. So she called up, she goes, Richard, what is this? I said, let's take a deep breath. They want you to make an emotional decision. We all make emotional decisions every day of our lives. That's why I try to go to the store for milk and I end up coming home with peanut butter and M&Ms. It's an emotional choice that I make, right? So we all do it, and it's true. At the same time, as we go in and do it, they're trying to make you do quick. And we talk through and we say, well, how old was this debt? Okay? How much did they say you owed? Did they tell you who the debt was with? No? Let's look at your credit report. Is that your credit report? No. We found out by just a little bit of illustration, somebody sold a debt that they had in 1999. And they bought the debt. So say the debt was $1,000. They bought this debt for fractions of a penny. And they bought her name, address, amount owed, phone number, email. And they send out, right? So say they buy 10,000 accounts for $100. They send out this email. And if they get out of 10,000, 5 people that each pays them $500, their $100 investment just turned into $2,500.
Oh, that's a good hustle.
That's not the point of why I'm here. You're going to walk out here, you're going to call Michelle over at Capital ID and say, Richard came in, I'm going to start robbing a bank and hustling people. That's not going to look good on me. Don't do that. Okay, but as we're thinking, so that's some of the basics there. Fair debt collection practice. The same thing, we talked a little bit about that process of old debt, what happens to it. They will continue to sell it. They will continue to look at it. What's important is you know what your rights are, and you're checking your credit report on a regular basis so you have an idea on what's going on and what you're doing.
And with some of those emails like that, be careful because some of those are scams too.
A lot of them are.
Yeah.
Right? Anytime that it says, how many have ever seen the letter, please send us money in USD.
Yeah.
What does USD mean?
United States dollar.
United States dollar?
So it must be somebody on.
Right? Or to settle this debt, go to Target and buy $500 Target gift cards and mail them to this address. You laugh. It happens.
Yeah.
Right? And people do it all the time, and they do it because it works. We allow them to do that because we do not take the time to educate
I would
ourselves.
be like, because I know one was like, call this number, you call this number, they'd be like, well, what's your social security, la 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 la.
We want to verify your social.
Yeah, and people
Well,
would do
you don't
it.
have my social? No, we need to verify it. All right, cool.
Yeah.
Right? So anytime, you feel free to hang up on them. Something else that I'm going to give you all permission to do if you do have a collector or anything along those lines is use me as the reason why you've got to get off the phone with them. So this financial guy I work with one of my programs says I have to talk to him before I pay anybody. Throw me under the bus. Because what are they going to do? Argue with you? Well, put him on the phone right now. Let me talk to him. He's not here. Right? All of a sudden, you're taking control of your situation. So throw me under the bus. Call me or not, you call someone from our office or not, you talk to the Capital Idea, they put you in touch with us, doesn't matter. But you're telling them you've got people on your side, you have support, and you are being educated about what can happen, what really goes on, and guess what they're going to stop doing? No, they can still call you. Remember, they called you once, they think it's harassment, but they're going to start following it with these guidelines a little more carefully. They're going to be careful, and then in their file they can say, got someone working with them, and you get off a list. So throw me under the bus. My name's Richard. Okay, Mr. Richard told me I couldn't do this. Who's Mr. Richard? Some guy I know. Mr. Richard's an
Tell
idiot.
you my first name.
Okay. They can call me an idiot all they want to. I really
my
don't care.
question is also, if you run across some of these people that obviously violate these acts,
Sure.
what are your options?
So what they are, great. So you hear her question. It says, when you have people who violate this, what are your options? If you go to the Fair Trade Commission, you can file a complaint against them. According to, you see the things go up. Navient, which is a student loan processing center, was just ordered to pay, what, like $328 million back to people because of unfair collection processes and the way that they had accounts. Every time they violate this, it outlines that they owe you $1,000. Okay? So it's a big deal. At the same time, you just violated this. I'm going to come after you for that. You have to sue them. You go through a process. If you want to or not, you can. We've had people actually do things and go back, right and forth. One of the stories, I've got about 3 or 4 minutes just to let you know about time constraints. But we've got, there was a story about a guy that Chase violated this. Fair debt collection practice? Once. He sued them, he got a judgment for $1,000 against Chase. Chase didn't do anything, he filed another court order, got what they call a notice of turnover of assets, showed up at a Chase branch with the sheriff and took all of Chase's computers that they were using to process it because they were ignoring him. Yeah, Chase wrote him a check real quick. Right? So you do hear stories about that and it actually working and moving forward. So, we talked a little bit about this, what is good, cycle of debt, and here's the big thing on how to get out. The math is easy. The mindset and the management is difficult and different. It is a process. I talk a lot about the 3 M's of money. I talk a lot about mindset. I talk a lot about math. I talk a lot about management. I talk this much about math. The math's simple. It's 2nd grade arithmetic. Y'all can do that. It's the mindset we go in when we're working with money and debt, and it's the management and the support that we have in doing that. I see so many people saying, oh, cool. Well, I'm not going to pay this credit card, so I'm going to open up this credit card and transfer all the money over because I got 0%. And then all of a sudden they go, oh, I got 0 balance on this credit card over here. Let's just keep going. What ends up happening? We're in this cycle of debt and we keep going. For you to stop it, you need to make a behavioral change. It's nothing to do with math. There's a math things you can do and play with. But it's a behavioral change and it's a lifestyle change choice on what you're doing. Right? The grass is not greener on the other side. The grass is greener where you are. Same thing about money, same thing about that. So when you're talking about the cycle and it keeps going, it's finding out where you are, where you want to go, what it is, and start developing a plan to do that. It takes a long time to get into debt, right? I mean, you can go out and do crazy things, but at the same time, it can take a long time to get out of debt. It really can. And what we see often is people go in and they want to get out of debt. And here's the other thing that I just want to cautious you of in the cycle. I'm going to get out of debt, so I'm going to pay $500 a month on my debt. Yes, but I don't manage my money well. So I'm using my rent money to pay my debt. And then all of a sudden I need rent money, so I get in debt. I'm in this cycle, but not just on the mathematical cycle of that, but I feel like I'm not able to accomplish my debt pay down time. Not because I tried something that didn't work. And it didn't work not because of what we were doing on the mass up. It didn't work because we didn't take a look at what we were doing now instead of a realistic plan to get that done. Right? So that's the magic of it right there. It's all about our behaviors and choices. Right? You say, oh, I need to get better at Microsoft Excel so I can make a spreadsheet to do it. I can make an Excel spreadsheet, sing and do all sorts of stuff. It doesn't change a thing if I don't change what I'm doing. Right? I mean, that's what it's at. To get out of debt, it's the exact same process. If I'm here for a reason. It's not good or bad. Right? When people always say, oh, you have debt, it's bad, there's a lot of shame it can be on, we never say that. We never work on that. It's the process of here's where we are, right? Here's what I'm trying to get to. Right? There you go. That's a smiley face. I'm an artist. Thank you. And so with that there, if that's what you're trying to get, the whole thing is develop a plan to get there and be realistic on how long it's going to take to do. Right? I know very few people that make the same amount of money, can pay off a whole lot of debt, and still pay all their bills at once. Right? We see the same thing about savings. Right, next time Family Houston is, one of our other coaches is going to be with you all talk about savings. He's a fantastic guy. He's going to talk about all sorts of savings and investment and stuff. Same thing, we see it all the time. People put a lot of money into savings. I'm saving. And at the same time, they're not taking care of what they're doing now. So they put $25 in the bank account because it's a free savings account, and 2 days later they go take that $25 back. Right? Like, I'm saving. No, I'm not. I'm saving. No, I'm not. It's like, never mind, I'm not able to save. Everybody is capable in this room of taking care of the business. You really are. In college, smart enough to do this. The thing is, what does it look like in changing the way that we're doing it now? So, that's all the thing. So with that being said, we talked a little bit about the cycle of debt, right? We looked at student loans and deferment, good or bad. We dug out of the hole and made a little smiley face, and we talked a little bit about collections and things along those lines. Has this been beneficial?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I appreciate y'all's time for today, and again, we'll be back later, here in a couple weeks, to do another one here too. So, before I leave, are there any other questions that you have for me?
Yeah, it's not debt, it's nothing about debt.
That's fine.
See, I think I'm a victim, no, I'm chosen to be a victim of a scam.
Okay, sure.
Okay. But last month I received email saying that I was chosen to receive $1 million.
Congratulations.
Okay. And they went on to say, and then they had a video. It's all on my phone.
I believe it.
Video where these people won 400, the Powerball, I think it was
Sure.
around $470-some million
Yep,
Powerball.
okay,
And they donated $7 million to a charity.
okay,
And the charity, but for the charity to donate so many million to any individual they choose. So they chose me
okay,
to donate $1 million
okay,
to.
okay.
Okay, and that's what they emailed me. Then they kept saying, well, they went on to talk about how they did all this stuff. And they kept saying, this is not a scam.
Okay.
That's how you know it's
This is not a scam. This is not a scam.
Sure.
Red flags went up, you know.
I'm
And
glad to hear.
I want to know, how did they get my email address
Sure.
and just chose me? But I emailed them back.
Okay.
And so I said, thank you very much. But now they want me to send my full name, Social Security number, and my bank account. Red flag went up again.
Right on, good, good, good.
But now they kept saying, this is not a scam.
Of course not.
So say, I just left it alone.
Thank you.
And I ain't heard nothing else on it. But I want to know, how did they?
Get your information to be able to do.
And then they had a video of these people when somebody, they got their name that they wanted to
Professional
know
scam
about.
artist.
For real, that's the.
Sure, and here's the thing, most scams have some sort of a truth in it. So if you Google search the name, somebody did win $476 million in the Powerball last year, right?
They got it
on this. So guess what? That's accurate and true.
Yeah.
How'd they get your information? They got your information, everyone, right? Every time you put your email address and things and places online to sign up for this or win this or do this here, they collecting that information, and a lot of times they'll sell that for telemarketers and they'll get that. They obviously did not have your full name, right?
They had all my email.
Sure, they had your email, but they needed your full
No,
name.
they needed my full name.
Exactly. So if you think about it, right? If anyone has ever worked with a charity or a nonprofit, which is Capital Idea, which is us, right? If you know we're working together and I ask for your full name, okay? Well, okay, here's why I need it. Here's what it looks like. Sure, right? If I'm online doing that, they don't have your full name. And what they did is they bought a list and they chose however many people here, they get a bank account information and they say, we're trying to process, we can't. We just need you to pay us $50 for a transaction fee. Oh, it's still not going through. And then that's how they slowly have people going on. But there's enough truth in all scams to make it work well. I sit on a group, it's called the Houston Financial Abuse Specialist Team, and it works on how financial abuse of the older population is on the huge rise. One of the big things we see now is they'll get a call. Grandma, I'm in trouble. Who is this? Well, Grandma, you don't recognize the voice of your grandson?
Oh, they mess with people.
Is this
also?
Robert? Yes, this is Robert, Grandma. You don't know me? Ooh, Grandma gave him that information. Right? They clever, they smart, and they do this because that's how they're trying. But they got your name random and none of that, and they do put enough truth. Anytime anyone has to say this is not a scam, that's a red flag. Anytime that they need to verify anything about you like that's one of those. If they say they want to do it, right? It's like, cool. Send me a check. You don't need my bank account information. Right? Also, if it sounds too good to be true, it almost always is.
Especially $1 million.
So, $1 million. Yeah, last question, and I do want to be respectful of y'all's time. Yes, ma'am.
How can you protect yourself from your information getting out there for these people to be calling you randomly and
Sure.
because
So part of it there, yeah. So how do you protect yourself? So part of it is get on the Do Not Call registry. There's a national one. There's also a Texas one. That will help to prevent telemarketers to do that. Also, every single time you sign up for anything, see who gets it. How many of y'all have checked something saying that they agree to the terms of service? Right? The rights and responsibilities. How many of y'all have ever read one of them?
I really want.
Read one once?
Yeah. It was after the South Park episode, I started reading.
The South Park episode.
So South Park did well once in the world. So, but at the same time, think about it, right? Read those and see, because if you see things, you
No.
sign up for this, you sign up for that, and in that, by check, you agree to do this. Well, if you don't read it, you've checked a few times saying that you allow them to
Yeah,
sell
to
your
sell it,
information.
yeah.
You're giving
So,
them the
no, this-
opportunity to do it. So think about that every time you put your
Now, there's
information.
an episode of South Park where like he
Anyways,
clicks
thank you all so much.
Hey,
Hey, I'm gonna squeeze behind
See,
you.
he clicks the
You're not
user
Robert
agreement,
Bank.
right? And then Apple comes and gets him, and they're like, "You didn't read the user agreement?"